Hey, what's up everybody? Wayne York here with another video. Today I'm going to go over a question I've gotten from a lot of Challenger and Charger owners with these 392 scat packs. And that is going to be, what does it cost to go full bolt-on for your car? I have a little bit more done that, or did, as you can see, missing the engine right now, but I'm going to go over everything that I did have done to my car and what it cost me at the time. So check it out. Let's start out with, first of all, what does full bolt-on even mean? So basically it is full bolt-on, whatever you can bolt onto the outside of the motor without internally entering or changing anything on the car itself. So that's going to obviously include cold air intake, exhaust, that type of thing. We're going to go over what all is included on that. You'll see the term FBO or full bolt-on thrown around in a lot of the car groups, and I know a lot of you guys, I was at first wondering what that even consisted of. Some people take it a little bit further in what they include in that. Some people, say, oh, well, you can bolt a supercharger on, but yes, you do technically, but that's a little bit more invasive. So let's start with the basics. Full bolt-on is going to be your cold air intake, usually your throttle body, just going to a slightly larger or ported one. It's going to be long tube headers, catless or high flow mid pipes, and usually having the car tuned. Some people argue if they would include doing injectors and adding E85 or not. That's not adding forced induction or anything too invasive in my opinion. I would include that as well as an easy bolt-on mod for your car. And let's go ahead and go over what it actually costs. All right, so the first thing is going to be typically tuning. If you're doing any type of mods to the car, it's gonna have to be tuned so you don't get cells, which are check engine lights. And also to maximize the performance you get out of any of these add-on parts, you're gonna have to tune it as well. So I will start with the price on that. Like I said, I wasn't sure which route I was gonna go. I just wanted to start modding the car and had fun with it. I had no end goal, but it is a great idea to have an end goal and have an idea before you get started, because I did go back on myself by not knowing what I wanted to do, wasting money on certain parts that I could have just, if I would have had an end goal planned out, I could have went ahead and already been setting myself up for the future, not wasting money. For example, I bought a set of catless mid pipes that are meant for the stock headers on the car. And then a few months later, ended up buying long tube headers and had to buy an additional set of mid pipes for the car because the headers being a different length, they don't line up correctly. So that's something to keep in mind whenever you are starting to mod your car. Do some research and try to get an idea of your end goal. All right, so first of all, I started with a cold air intake was the first thing I bought for the car. Didn't need a tune or anything. It was like literally the second or third day. I just wanted to do something. Ended up buying a cold air intake and it was about $380. I got a K&N. After doing research later on, they really don't add any performance, but I used it on the car for about 3 years now, so I wouldn't really consider it a complete waste of money, but you're really not going to gain any power out of it. Unfortunately, a lot of people end up just doing the Hellcat lower intake with the tube through the headlight to pull in some additional cool air. Really, from any of the aftermarket intakes, unfortunately, you're really not going to see a lot of power gain. All right, so next thing was the unlocked PCM. I was trying to save as much money as I could on everything I was initially doing, so I waited until Black Friday. They had a deal for unlocked PCM, 1-for-1 swap with the Diablo i3 tuner. So I got it on the sale. It was around $100 or even a little bit more off. The cheapest option was to do the 1-for-1 swap, where they send you the unlocked one and then in return they have a box that you ship back your locked PCM, so then they can do the same. They can unlock that and send it to other customers. And your car's not down because they provide you with a PCM first. So that's the route I did. I got it on Black Friday on sale. they added an additional military discount for me, thankfully, and I only paid $404 for that. I felt like I got a really good deal because I know a lot of people pay a lot more money, upwards of $800 to $1,000. I know HP tuners seems to be a little bit more expensive, but it's also a really popular one a lot of people go with. I was just trying to save money, so I paid right at $400. Next thing on my list was long tube headers. Like I said about the mid pipes before, I'm not going to include the first set I bought in this overall price, but I bought a set of long tube headers. I got lucky. I got a cheaper brand. It's not as popular, not one of the mainstream ones, but there was a guy that bought a brand new set of long tube headers. The brand is OBX, which isn't a super popular one, but he bought them for his car. They sat in his garage for months. He got quoted like $1,000 for the install and never had them installed on his car, ended up selling them, and I picked them up brand new in the box for $400 off this guy. So I got a good deal. After that, I needed a new set of mid pipes, like I said. So I had to buy a second set, and now on this set I got Corsa catless mid pipes, and I got those from Jegs, and I spent $380 for those mid pipes. So all in, long tube headers, catless mid pipes, I had 6, 7, basically just under $800 for the full setup. A lot of people go with more expensive brands such as Corsa, American racing headers. There's a lot of good brands out there, but you're looking at spending $1,200, $1,300. I was just trying to save money. I installed them myself, so I didn't have that cost. I'm very fortunate with all of these parts. My dad's been a mechanic forever, so he's helped me out a ton, and I don't pay for install costs. If you are having to pay a shop to install, it's going to drive your cost up a lot more, obviously. You're looking at $100 to $150 an hour, depending on where you're at and what kind of shop it is. So keep that in mind as well. All right, so for the throttle body, once again, I saved money. I went with Fastman is the brand. Basically, you can send in your stock throttle body to this individual and he will port it for $250. Or you can purchase a brand new one through him for $192. And then obviously the port work on top of it, and he charges you $12 for shipping, which will end up being $454 if you buy a brand new one from him already worked up. So I had my stock one and came across a guy selling his Fastman, which at the time they're very hard to get. I think they still are, actually. I know it's been backed up forever. And I ended up picking up an 85 millimeter ported Fastman throttle body for $300 used, which is a good deal in my opinion. I didn't have any wait time, and it was basically looked brand new. So once again, I'm just staying on these forums, and every time I see a good deal, I jump on it, saving as much as I could with this build. I know another option, a lot of people will just do a stock Hellcat throttle body, which is a 92 millimeter. You then have to buy an adapter in order to hook it up to your 85 millimeter opening on your intake manifold. So you still have the restriction. The actual throttle body is bigger, but then it's downsized, coning down into back the same size. So I really don't see a huge benefit of going much bigger than the OEM ported one that I had. There might be slight gains. I never used it, so I can't say for sure. You can buy it through MMX, the Hellcat OEM throttle body for $299. And then the adapter plate is $194, which equals up being $495. So about $40 more than the Fastman. And I mean, it's hard to say, but honestly, probably very similar results. Whatever way you want to go with, or if you get a great deal on somebody that's selling their stock one or whatever, do whatever makes the most sense for you. All right, the next thing I did, I went a little bit further than just the bolt-ons, and I did a full cam kit. I got the cam from Jay Green Racing on Facebook. It was a 224, 230 locker cam. The full setup for my car, being a stick shift car, was $1,400. So it's slightly cheaper because the automatic cars require non-MDS lifters, where the 6-speed cars already have the non-MDS lifters. So that takes out $450, $500 or so. You're looking at $1,800 to $2,000 for the full kit if your car is an automatic. This kit includes the cam, which is a custom grind to whatever specs you tell him or whatever other mods you have. So that's one benefit of it. I really didn't need a custom one for my setup, being super basic, but I just went ahead and went with it. It comes with upgraded valve springs that are for the higher lift from the new cam. And it also comes with hardened push rods. So I spent $1,400 on that. After that, I got Fuel Injector Clinic 650cc injectors. I went with these in order to run E85 on my car. You'll typically gain anywhere 15 to 20 horsepower to the wheels with a naturally aspirated car. If you're already boosted and you switch to E85, you're gonna gain 50 plus horsepower to the wheels. It makes a lot bigger difference on boosted applications, but it was so cheap and it is all around in my area. So I figured, why not? I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it. Got bigger injectors to support that and tuned for it, and picked up a little additional power. So on top of that, well, I got those injectors on sale Black Friday as well, and I paid $518. Normally they're about $630, so I saved another $100 there. Just looking out for good deals. Black Friday, wait to spend the money. So tune. So Jay Green tuned my car. He's the one I got the cam through. For just bolt-on application, cars or trucks, he charges $350. Since my car was cammed, it was $450, so just an additional $100. And then about a year later, whenever I got the bigger injectors and went to E85, he charged an additional $200 to swap over to the E85 tune. So I paid $650 to have all this tuned for a total of about $4,002 just for parts. What I didn't say in that list that is also included there is new head gaskets and a couple miscellaneous items. Some things that I did not add on were startup after the initial engine, the cam swap and stuff. I had to do new antifreeze. I ran oil through the car for a very short amount of time just to flush it out, and did an additional oil change very quickly after like a day or two. Very, very low miles on it. So I had to refill the Freon for the AC system. So there are additional costs, but I had right at $4,000 just in parts plus tuning. I was around $4,650. And like I said, that was doing all the maintenance myself with the help of my dad, which a lot of the stuff for just bolt-ons are honestly very simple to do yourself. The headers are a little bit of a pain, but really you could knock it out in your driveway if you have basic mechanical skills. It'll probably be a pain and take quite a few hours, but it is doable. I wouldn't advise doing the more intensive work like the cam install. Thankfully, I had a lot of help from my dad. I wouldn't have been able to knock that out by myself, but with his knowledge, he made it an easy go, so it just made sense. I saved a lot of money by us doing it at home, so I'm very thankful for that. So if you're looking to go full bolt-on, there is ways to save money and do it cheap. It might take a little bit longer, but I did this whole thing as a budget build, and overall I'm really happy with the car. I'll put in some clips of it running. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and check out the Instagram at b5.beast.
sir.